as an Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax in Kerala. In fact, the Karnataka Skill Development Corporation was set up in 2008, first such organization in the entire country where that innovation is anything has a wing called IMCK, that is District Skill Development Officers in every district of the state.
Namaskar, hello and welcome to this exclusive and special episode of IndiGlobal Talks. IndiGlobal Talks brings to you inspiring stories of inspiring individuals from the space of education, skill and governance. IndiGlobal Talks is brought to you by IndiGlobal Media Network that takes innovation, collaboration and growth to the forefront. And today we are joined by a young governance leader in the space of Indian bureaucracy. He is currently the Managing Director for Karnataka Skill Development Corporation, that is leading in many of the skill development activities. We'll get to know more in our candid conversation today. And today we are connecting with you from the Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore, from the state of Karnataka. So please join me in welcoming the young leader and the bureaucrat from the state of Karnataka, Mr. Ashwin Gowda, Managing Director, Karnataka Skill Development Corporation. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you
for your time. And we heard a lot about your work on the ground. We would like to know, before we get into the technical aspects of your work, we would like to know where were you born, brought up, and the kind of educational background you have.
Initially, let me thank the organizers and also IndiGlobal Media Network for organizing this event and inviting me for this session. Basically, I was born and brought up in Bangalore. Then I studied in National High School, Baswangudi and National College, Jainagar, completed my BA graduation, and I was the university topper in 2008. And afterwards, I pursued my master's in public administration from Indira Gandhi National Open University. Then after that, I did my MA in Kannada literature from Karnataka State Open University, and afterwards I did my master's in taxation and business laws from Nalsad University, Hyderabad. And I belong to 2011 batch of Indian Revenue Service Income Tax. And I started my career as an Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax in Kerala way back in 2013. And in 2015, I got deputed Karnataka State, and I was promoted as a Deputy Commissioner of Income Tax. And in 2018, I was deputed to Government of State Government of Karnataka, and I was the Deputy Secretary to Chief Minister, Mr. Kumaraswamy. And from there, I was the Director of Finance in KPDCL, that is Karnataka Power Transmission Corporation Limited. And since last two and a half years, I've been posted as MD Karnataka Skill Development Corporation, Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Livelihood, Government of Karnataka.
Amazing, sir. We hear the kind of work and initiatives that's been taken up. First, we would like to know the kind of the vision and the mission with which this Karnataka Skill Development Corporation has been established, and how did it progress over the years?
Okay, it's a very good question. In fact, the Karnataka Skill Development Corporation was set up in 2008 with a vision of having the skilled manpower in Karnataka. So the mission was basically to promote the skill training amongst the youth of this state through various schemes like Kaushalya Seri, Chief Minister Kaushalya Karnataka Yojana, Prime Minister Kaushalya Vikas Yojana. And today we are implementing, we are the nodal agency. KSDC is the nodal agency for promoting skill training to the youth of this state. And KSDC has been providing training in almost 30 plus sectors like aviation, apparels, agriculture, logistics, IT, ITES, telecommunications. You name the sector, it is there. We are present in that sector, and we are also providing training in more than 300 plus job roles. And since last 2.5 years, we have provided training to almost 1.5 lakh candidates across these sectors and across these job roles. So this is in the nutshell of KSDC's role and functions.
Great. In this fast evolving ecosystem where digital transformation is rapid, and the recent COVID waves have also catalyzed the kind of transformation that takes place in the market, in the employability skill market, and at the same time in digital education as well. what are the kind of collaboration that KSDC has with the industry and other countries, if there is any?
Yes, this is again a valid question and a very good question too, because Karnataka Skill Development Corporation, probably the first such organization in the entire country where we have started a program called Industry Connect way back 2 years itself. So at the time, during the times of COVID, the main motto was that all along the skill training was mostly supply driven. We provide training through our empaneled training partners, and usually the training partners provide a training in the areas where they find it suitable or comfortable for them to set up the training centers. So as a result, the training activities were more of supply driven, whereas we wanted to make it more demand driven, in the sense we wanted to cater to the demands of the industries. So in this regard, we have started a program called Industry Connect, where we reached out to the individual industries, asking them that you please provide us your job requirements, job role wise demand requirements. We will train our candidates. We have got our government training centers like GTTCs, KGTTI, state of the art centers of excellence. We will provide the qualitative manpower to you and you deploy them. Or otherwise, we also gave an opportunity. Suppose if you want to be empaneled with us as a training partner, if you want to provide the training by yourself, then please do associate with us as the empaneled training partner. So based on this initiative, today Flipkart, Aditya Birla, Sansera Technologies, which is one of the leading automotive technologies of the country, automotive manufacturing companies of this country, and Ecom Express Private Limited, Wipro GE, they've all become our Electronic City Industry Association, Mysore Industry Association. They have become our training partners, and they are providing training in those job roles where there is a requirement and demand in the industry, and after providing training, they are also providing captive employment. So this is how we have started this, and we have also launched a program called Industry. We have also launched a cell called Industry Linkage Cell in KSDC, through which we are catering. We are reaching out to the individual industries and catering to their manpower requirements.
Great. Majority of the youth that comes out is from the higher education institution, at the same time ITI or technical education. What is the bridge that is KSDC is catering to, the kind of gap between industry and academia? Is there any role KSDC is playing between the educational institutions and industry?
Yes. In fact, you must be knowing that we have started a program called Talent Accelerator Program in collaboration with the Department of IT/BT, Science and Technology. So this program basically aims at providing the finishing school training to the students who are in the final year of their graduation, especially the BE students. So we provide a training in future skills, basically like IoT, Internet of Things, AI, ML, data science, data analysis, data security, cyber security, and so on and so forth. So this has been received very well by the youth of the state. And apart from this, we have also engaged with several education institutions like Dayanand Sagar Education Institutions and RV Engineering College to promote and to provide training in future skills. And you must be knowing that we have also launched a project with the RV Skills, which is the skilling wing of the RV Engineering College, which is considered to be the the topmost engineering colleges, one of the topmost engineering colleges in Bangalore. So with them, we are currently developing online courses for online content for 30 courses in future skills. So all these include your VLSI, embedded systems. Currently, there is not much of material available in these areas. These are the niche areas where we are providing and coming up with the content and providing it to the students for free of cost. So this is how we are achieving the Industry Academia Connect 2.
Superb. Kind of Karnataka Skill Development Corporation, would you like to throw some light on the kind of the strength it has in terms of administration and staff, and the kind of centers that are spread across the state?
Very good question. So Karnataka Skill Development Corporation is again a pioneer in decentralizing this skilling ecosystem in the state, in the sense this department itself was created way back in 2017 in Karnataka, that is Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Livelihood, and KSDC is one of the wings of this department. And KSDC has skill development office, which is manned by the district skill development officers in every district of the state. We have got 31 DSDO office where 10 staffs are stationed over there, and there is also this district skill committees which have been set up as per the guidelines of Ministry of Skill Development, Government of India, and district commissioner is is the head of this district skill committee, and DSDO being the member secretary. So through these skill committees, actually, this skill committee also consists of several subcommittees and members of the officials from various other departments. So through these committees, actually, we identify and assess the skill requirements in the district, and then we also conduct the skill gap analysis, identify the demands of the district in skilled manpower area, and accordingly we provide training and deploy the manpower for the industries. And apart from this, we also have taken up through these skill committees, we have also taken up the revival of traditional skills in our state. You must be knowing that each and every district in Karnataka is blessed with one or the other art and artifacts. So there is actually a need for the technical upgradation of these artisans, and also need to provide modern training to these people for the revival of skills. So for this, we have started the revival of traditional skills campaign, and then through which we are providing various training. Say for example, in Channapatna, we are providing Channapatna toys, which are world famous in fact. So the lacquerware painting and the lacquerware training and the painting training is being provided to the candidates. And similarly in Koppal, we are providing the bamboo training, technological upgradation in bamboo training to the Medar community, which is one of the very ancient communities involved in bamboo making, bamboo based products. So through this, like this, we are providing several training to across the districts of Karnataka.
This is quite interesting, where you are reaching out to even to the rural places. The kind of culture, the tradition, and the livelihood, the local livelihood is being importance. What are the kind of technology in this age of digital transformation? How well KSDC is embracing the technology, and with the use of technology, it is reaching out to the remotest place?
Yes, this is again a very good, very valid question. So you must be knowing that this is the era of internet, where people sitting at remote place can access knowledge anywhere which is available across the globe. So in the same lines, KSDC also has come up with a platform called KSDC, e-skill, e-kaushalya, which is again learning management system. So through this LMS, we are providing training to our engineering students in future skills, as I told you, as I mentioned you earlier. Yeah. And apart from that, we are also providing training in EDP, that is Entrepreneurship Development Program. So we are working with, currently we are working with Startup India, where we are collecting the demand, where we are collecting the content of EDP and localizing it, so to make it reach out to the local people here. And then we have also collaborated with Infosys Springboard. So they have a platform called Infosys Springboard, where currently around 11,000 courses are being offered free of cost. So we are integrating our LMS with their platform, so that people can make use of these courses along with our courses too. And apart from this, we have also under Project Sankalp of Government of India, we have also provided training in 21st century skills like English communication, creativity, collaboration, teamwork, critical thinking, and so on. So with the help of Walchand India Private Limited and Macmillan India Private Limited, so they have come up with their own content for this, and these content are also being uploaded in our portal, so that can be made use of by the youth of the state. So through this, and apart from this, you also talked about how are we reaching out to the rural areas. See, this is very, very important, because most of the times actually all the skill development centers are situated in the district headquarters, or maximum they can go up to the taluk headquarters, but not to the rural areas as such. So in order to ensure that the benefits of this skill training should also reach out to the rural women, physically differently abled candidates, and rural women and rural youth. So we have launched a project called Skills on Wheels. These are the mobile training centers, basically the mobile bus, where we have converted them into the training centers, and we have also joined we have developed some customized QP, especially with respect to this beautician, therapist, and assistant electrician. So these courses are being offered to rural women and rural people to take up self-employment, and this has been received very well by people in North Karnataka.
Glad to know that skill development is reaching to the doorsteps of the citizens, not just in urban this part of the state, but also into the rural part of Karnataka. Great. We would like to know, where does KSDC stand? Would you like to give us the figure of the age group in terms of skilling? Is there any age group kind of assessment or that's been done in terms of employment and the kind of skill gap that is there?
Yes, actually currently we are focusing on, we are focusing on people with the age group of 15 to 35 years, because if you look at that, our country is considered as demographic, one of the countries with the highest number of youth population. And in order to reap the demographic dividend which our country is currently, into, so we have to ensure that this young population should be provided with the proper skill training and should be properly equipped with multiple skills, so that they can earn their livelihood, and also they can get employed somewhere, become more productive and contribute to the economic development of the state. So on these lines, actually we are focusing on this age group and providing with the required skill sets based on their aptitude and aspirations.
And any numbers you have in terms of the number of people or the youngsters of this age group got trained and employed, and you see being employed in the coming days?
Yes, as I told you in the beginning, since last 3 years, actually, in spite of COVID scenarios, that we have trained almost 1.5 lakh candidates across the job roles. And many candidates are being provided with wage employment and self-employment too. And you must be knowing that Karnataka is also the second largest state in the entire country to train the COVID warriors. At the time, in the last year, we have trained almost 11,480 candidates in multiple job roles like phlebotomist, home health aide, general duty assistant, sorts of. So we can proudly say that in case we are ready with onslaught of any pandemic in future, because we are ready with the required manpower to tackle this.
Superb. In terms of to go through this your portal, at the same time there is new national education policy. What is your take on national education policy, if you have, in terms of its implementation and also its integration with the skilling part?
Education policy, I would say, would be a game changer in the country's education system sphere itself. That is because all these years, actually, let us not forget that there is a negative comment about the Indian system, that we are more into the rote learning, we are more into memorizing things and vomiting it at the time of exams, but we are not into practical training as such. So this in fact has been sustained by figures and statistics, like if you look at South Korea, almost 95% of the people have got occasional education, and which is almost again 75% in case of US, and Germany it is 75% and around 52% in case of US. But when it comes to India, not even 5% of our candidates have received formal education in one way or the other. Okay, so if the candidates are not skilled, then how can we ensure their employability and employment? And this is what we have been hearing from many industrial stalwarts of our country, saying that majority of the people who are coming out are not employable because they don't have the employability skills. So I would suggest that NEP tries to address the National Education Policy 2020 tries to address this issue in a way that it focuses on occasional education from standard 6th itself. So people will get to know about the various, they will be introduced to various occasions available, various occupations available, and they will also be given a sort of a career guidance, so that they can choose as to what to study and what not to study and all. So in a way, since the vocational education is integrated in the national education policy, this is going to be a game changer. And in order to implement this, we have already started a program called Skill Hub Initiative. This has been started by Ministry of Education and Ministry of Skill Development Entrepreneurship, Government of India. Currently, we are implementing here, KSDC is implementing this program with the support of Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, Department of Education, where we are providing training to the dropout children under the Skill Hub initiative, and we are also mapping the training institutions in the districts so that the schools will be mapped to those industries, and schools will be the spokes and those industries will be the hub, and the students will be provided an introduction to the various occasions available. So they will be given a first-hand experience about what exactly happens in the industries. So based on that, they'll be able to make informed decisions regarding their career. So this is the idea, and this is what we are executing.
Wonderful. You being an officer, what is your take or your definition of innovation?
I say that innovation is anything which is new and which brings about, which has a utility aspect for any individual, and especially people, society at large.
You as the managing director and a bureaucrat of the Indian system, how do you look at innovation? What is your definition of innovation?
See, for me, innovation is a simplification of process, in the sense that we have been following some practices or procedures which are archaic or conservative or may not be useful to public at large. So in such a scenario, if we bring about anything which is new, which simplifies the existing procedure and becomes more beneficial to general public at large, I would call it as innovation. And innovation is there in every walk of life. In every walk of life, it is also there in the work that we do. And because of the innovative initiatives have been taken up by Government of Karnataka, by Karnataka Skill Development Corporation in the skilling ecosystem, and this has benefited people at large.
Yeah. Now, I would like to ask some personal questions. You as an officer, as an individual, usually people say in terms of the work-life balance, some say the work and the personal life goes hand in hand, and some say there's a perfect balance they would strike. How you as an officer, where a lot of work demand and the expectation is there from the citizens, how do you strike a balance between your personal and professional life?
A very difficult question to answer though, but I have introspected myself several times regarding this, because I would suggest that a bureaucrat, especially who's being given an opportunity to work for the public, especially at large, won't find much time to his family. This is exactly the case with the soldiers too, because if you look at the Army, Navy and Air Force system are armored forces basically, so they'll work for almost 8 months in a year, 8 to 10 months in a year, and they will have a 2 months break. So in the same way, if you ask them, do you have work-life balance, the answer will absolutely be, there's no answer, and it will be negative too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I think similar is the case with the civil servants too, because here we have been given a responsibility, and it is also an opportunity for us to ensure that the benefits of government reach out to public at large. So in such a scenario that calls for longer hours of hard work and long hours of coordination and sufficient work. So in such a scenario, we don't get much time to be with the family, and of course there is always a gross in this regard from my family side too. But whenever I find time, actually, so I spend my time with my family, my kids, and
amazing. Would you like to tell us about your family and the strength you get and the kind of inspiration you always get despite the monotonous work or the kind of work? What keeps you going?
Okay, so my family, actually, my wife is there, so she is a qualified MBBS doctor, and then she also wrote civil services and got into Indian Railway Account Service in 2013, and then in 2018 she resigned from the service, and currently she is active in politics. So she is also working as a social servant through her foundation. So I have got 2 kids, and my parents are also with me. So the family life, yes, it is going on well, and in fact, yes, my family is the biggest strength for me. Because of them, because of their sacrifices, I'll be able to concentrate here, and will be able to deliver here. So I am always thankful and indebted to my family.
Great. And we see you as a youngster. What would be your message for our viewers who are young and who are looking up to their career and who are looking up to their future possibilities?
Yes, I was also a youngster way back when I was studying in college. So just like all of you, even I too had my dreams. So my dream was actually basically to get into civil services and serve the society. So I think, which I have achieved today. I say that, I don't call it as a message though, but, a word of experience from my side is that you first try to analyze and understand your aspirations, attitude, aptitude, where it lies. Okay, so once you get to know about your area of interest, then accordingly work hard so that, you will achieve dreams, aspirations and everything. Because once we start liking our job, or once we start liking whatever we do, we don't call it as a job, rather it becomes a habit and passion, and it becomes our passion basically. So I would suggest that one should work hard to achieve their dreams in a very focused way, in a passionate way, which will ultimately contribute for the overall development of himself, herself, and also the overall development of this country. And that's the contribution that we can make as a citizen to this country. That is, with respect to this international, what are we doing to cater to the international demand? Remuneration of almost 1 crore, and then housemates we have sent. Okay. So I think
Any
that
name for that?
It's called International Migration Center of Karnataka, which is again part of one of the wings of KSDC. What are we doing to cater to the international demands, sort of?
Yeah. Mr. Ashwini, KSDC is also contributing and catering to the needs and demands of human resource in the foreign countries. Would you like to tell us about the kind of work that's being done and the kind of recruitments or employment that's done in the overseas?
Yes. Karnataka Skill Development Corporation has a wing called IMCK, that is International Migration Center of Karnataka, which is basically into promoting our human resources abroad. So KSDC is actually a registered recruitment agency registered with Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, and as part of it, we have been interacting with several foreign employers. We get their demands and train our people here and send them abroad. Say for example, so far, since last 2 years actually the visa of many countries were closed, but it got opened only in the month of September, October last year. So since then actually we have sent almost 350 manpower in the form of doctors, nurses and the housemates and the house cooks and all to abroad, and that's been received very well by people of our state again. We also have a training department called PDOT, that is a pre-departure orientation training. So whoever goes abroad from Karnataka, so they will be provided with the pre-departure orientation training that basically talks about as to how to behave, what are the etiquettes in those countries, how to behave in those countries, and what are the cultural values in those countries, so that they won't be having, the candidates who are going abroad won't be having any cultural shocks as such. And we have also signed an MOU with NHS of UK government, and currently around 60 candidates, nurses are being trained in IELTS, OSCE, CBT, and once cleared they will also be sent as nurses to UK. So these are all the areas that KSDC is working upon.
Amazing. Would you like to give us the number, the total number of human resource that have been benefited with this initiative?
Yes, as I told you in the beginning, KSDC was registered as a recruitment agency way back in 2019, but immediately because of COVID, actually the operations, we couldn't do much operations because of closure of visas in many countries. And once it got opened in the last year, we have sent almost 350 candidates abroad. We are also in the process of sending many candidates in the coming days.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ashwin Gowda, for joining us, taking out time and sharing that phase of your journey, and we got to know you personally as well. So with this, we come to end of this very interesting and special IndiGlobal Talks, our episode, brought to you by IndiGlobal Media Network. This is Sudheer Goutham from the IndiGlobal Media Network, signing off till we come back to you and connect with you yet another inspiring individual with their inspiring story. Thank you.